Hey, beautiful people, it's that 70s, baby. Your girl Primrose here on Primrose Ave with my co-host, the lovely Miss Michelle Gracie. How you doing?
Hey, Primrose.
Look, I
What's
had to
up?
channel my inner. My apologies for cutting you off. That was channeling my inner Wendy.
That's fine. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Oh, everything is up, and just super excited. This is episode 12 of our first season of our podcast, Primrose Avenue. And I'm thrilled. I am super, I'm full, I'm full. And it's a good full. It's a feeling of satisfaction that we together have collaborated over this season with other like-minded people to have discussions that are beneficial, same word, but that are fruitful and with the intention to help, to heal, to prosper those who listen, including ourselves, because when we speak, we are also listening. So,
Mhm.
a revelation that I had earlier was that, and it's actually a revelation slash affirmation slash goal. It was like, I want to not hear, but listen so well that I can hear the voice of my ancestors when they knew who they were. That's how
Mm,
well I want to listen, you know,
mhm,
and in doing this and this process and having this podcast and doing this podcast, it has made me a better listener.
mm,
Something that I lacked, or I'm not even gonna
mm,
say I lacked it, but I suppressed my listening skills, out of anxiety, out of, just rushing through and things like that. So this has been a blessing in my life in so many ways. And so I'm very excited about this conversation that we are
yeah,
about to have. The
me too.
intention is to talk about freedom, these two words, freedom and control. And as with anything or any word, we can have our own perspective, even though there's a definition to the word, to the words, any word that we use. Uh, I understand that words, number one, are things with a
Mhm,
lot of power. And
mhm,
I learned that some years ago when I just happened to be watching something on television and Maya Angelou said it. And it just made so
mhm,
much sense. Like when something makes really good sense to me, I can get behind it immediately without any research. And it made so
mhm,
much sense. But it's still, even though the sense that it made to me at that time, and this has been years ago, even before this podcast was ever being conceptualized by the two of us, it didn't resonate
mhm,
so recently in a way that um, made me want to be more cautious with my
mhm,
words and being,
mhm,
very wanting to be now more intentional. And I have a habit up until this point where I have, used words without intention or with poor intention. And so in order for me to vibe higher, I have to be mindful about what I say. Um, because again, words have power. And I was looking down real quick because I wanted to, I should have probably done this earlier, but I want to see what the definition, what Webster's definition of freedom is. And if you could look for control for me real
mhm.
quick. And while you're doing that, mine is coming up. It says freedom, the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. Were you able to get that definition for control?
Yes.
Can you
Um,
tell me what it says? Tell us.
it's in to regulate, to keep from exceeding a desirable degree or level as of expression. So it's to keep from exceeding a desirable degree.
Okay. So that's just
Um, the it had multiple. Oh no, it just had examples.
got you. And it says freedom is a privilege. Right.
Mm,
In freedom is a privilege that one can exercise freely without restraint, without permission,
Mhm.
here first.
Yeah.
And if you're not free here, you're not free anywhere. That is also something I learned. And that topic, control, actually came to you before freedom came to me. And when it came to me, because remember, I was like, we're gonna put control off to next season, because
Yeah.
I it was something, and but then one day I'm sitting and I'm thinking like how those two go together.
Mhm.
Both freedom is without hindrance or restraint, right? Control is without hindrance, but with restraint.
Mhm.
Because in order to control something, you show restraint.
Mhm.
And I speak to control about what I, not necessarily what I think, but managing how long it stays there, and having control only over myself and
Mhm.
my own freedom, mentally and physically, because I control my freedom. I can't control
Mhm.
yours, because some shit stuff you might do might hinder your physical freedom. And
Mhm.
some stuff you might do will potentially hinder your mental freedom. I have no
Mhm.
control over that. And so the reason why I believe it came to me that those two words needed to be talked about together is because in all the freedom, this privilege of freedom born as human beings that we have, we sometimes think or believe, I'm going to speak to me, or want, I just wanted control over a lot of different things that I had absolutely no control over. And me desiring to have control over things that I had no control over hindered my freedom,
Mm. Yeah.
because I was focusing in on things that just didn't make sense for me to focus on, because I just wanted to have that control. And
Mhm.
so the way how control and freedom are relevant for me personally is I am grateful that I have come to the knowledge of that thing about myself, because you got to get to know yourself, to understand yourself, and to be your best self. And
Mhm.
so in order to be my best self, I acknowledge that up until this point, I have tried to control things. And in trying to control things other than my own self, these five fingers, these five toes, these thoughts that come into my head and what I do, I am just grateful that, like I said, I've come to that frame of thought and belief and knowledge. I can't
Mhm.
control, nor do I want to control things that have nothing to do with me.
Mhm.
And I'm talking
Mhm.
about even living with someone
Mhm.
where I want them to put things. I want them to put things where I want to put them. And that has like driven me crazy, because it would just, I see it up. Wait a minute, I don't want that there. What
Mhm.
is it really affecting me? The only thing that's affecting me is that I've become bondage to little things that don't matter, not for my progress,
Mhm.
not for my productivity.
Mhm.
And so for me, I am just so thankful, like, to come to that realization that this was hindering my freedom.
Mhm.
And it has to stop, and it will stop today. And it's not an easy process. I've been working on it,
Mhm.
you know, but the key is that I acknowledge it, I accept it, and
Mhm.
I acknowledge that it must change, because
Mhm.
I will not allow things to hinder my freedom anymore.
Mhm.
It impedes on your happiness. It is like, oh, it just,
Mhm.
I'm sure you've heard me in comment, oh, it just got on my nerves. Why? Because it wasn't where I thought it should be. It's a thing and a place, an inanimate object sitting on some other inanimate object that is not harming me mentally, except the fact that I've just focused on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I am just thankful just for that. I mean, just for that. And along with that, other things, focusing on the things that I can control, my habits, where I go, practicing to be more intentional about where I go. I can control that. I heard a young lady speaking on, and I don't know where it was sometime today. I heard it somewhere, and she was like, even though I say yes, I want to say yes in that moment, I now give myself a day to give somebody an answer because I don't want to say yes in excitement. We often do it.
Yeah.
A lot of people lose keeping their word, I can control that. So I'm going to work on being intentional about everything because as a mother, as a Black woman, as a grandmother, I have a huge responsibility to my offspring. And if I don't free up what's in here, then I'm going to be malfunctioning and they're not going to get out of me what they need. Because see, I need them and they need me. And they need the best version of me. And if you remember in the beginning, it was, I am on a mission to change my mind. And so many surprising things have been happening because all I wanted to do was just release the trauma and live happy, be my happy, merry self. I did not even expect or intend for the amount of the growth that's occurred in this process on this mission to change my mind. And I'm so thankful for that. I am so thankful for freedom and understanding that I don't control shit outside of me.
Oh, wow. That's amazing to hear because even before the podcast, I've heard you talk about this. You need to control where things go, in the house. And to hear that you no longer want to not just don't no longer want to be in that space, but is doing the work to get out of it. Yeah. Yeah. Self-awareness, progress, execution, all you name it. Like this all is happening right here in your very home. Like,
yes.
wow.
And you got to start at home.
Yeah, you
and
do.
I'm talking about here. This is my home. This is my physical body. This is my home. This is where it has to start in here. And some days it's challenging because and I just want to say something like, no, Primrose, you just walk by it. It's okay. It's not a big deal. And it isn't. It truly isn't.
They say that the need of control comes from when we lost full control. It was a moment where we had no control, maybe as a child, right? And so like when we lost that control in a certain event that took place in our life and when we were children, and it just grew to this big thing of just, you know what, that will never be me again. I will never lose control again. So I'm going to try to control every little thing that's around me. That people, places, and things.
Yeah.
And so it comes from the moment when we lost control.
And actually I've realized a few years ago what that particular need to control was from. It was because I had been violated.
Yes.
I was raped at 12, then molested for several years by a foster father and mother. And over the years, I would beat myself up like, well, what could I have done different? I could have stopped that. Why didn't I do this? And why didn't I do that? And all these whys I had, but I was a child. I was afraid and I was not bold, And so that's why I didn't stop my 12-year-old self being raped. I don't know if I've ever shared this with the man who used to molest me in the foster home. One day I just asked him, like, why are you doing this to me? And see, that's what like predators do. And I'm not going to stay here long. What in the world was that?
Oh, no.
Do you see that?
Yes.
Spirit. Spirit, because there's nothing moving. There's nothing. Did you see that? Okay, spirit. Look, that's just confirmation for me. So I'm good. I'm good.
I look, I was like, the sun is moving really fast.
Hey, I hope this recording catches that because if you saw it and I saw it, then I do hope the record, because I don't want anybody to think we just losing it over here. We what we just saw is what we saw. Look, spirit, I told you I did something different.
Say nothing. I wasn't going to say nothing unless you said that. I was just like,
You know me. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, there's nothing different. I didn't. Yeah, so I don't spirit. I'm gonna just say spirit. Like I said, I did something different today too. So, yeah. Look, my ancestors let me know they honoring my prayer to hear them. They say you can see us, but you will hear us.
ooh,
Anyway, wow.
wow.
Oh, the man who used to molest me. I just got so tired of it. Just like, Lord, I just want to go to sleep at night, you know. And I asked him one day, why are you doing this to me? He said, I love you. Gave me a very screwed up view of what, you know, what love is. And I always challenge love. I do. I do it to this day. I'm that is another thing that I am working on is challenging love, accepting it, that it's real and not challenging it so much. But he told me he was doing this thing, but he was sick. That's manipulation. He even went so far as to tell me that the only way that he would stop molesting me is if he were to die. And he put a gun in my hand. He was the first person who put a gun in my hand. And I had never, like I said, I don't think I'd ever seen a gun at that point. He put the gun in my hand and told me to kill him. He even took and positioned the gun to his mouth. And for years, and in that moment, I felt empathy for this man who was traumatizing me and taking away the, you know, my innocence had taken, but he just, you know, did it in such a way that, you know, it just screwed me up in a lot of ways for that time. And it gave me these crazy perceptions about myself and the world and what love is and all this stuff. And I used to beat myself up like, why didn't you pull the trigger? But had I pulled the trigger, how would my life be different? I don't want to know. Because I would probably have been in some juvenile detention center somewhere for murder, for blowing this man's brains out. I even beat myself up for falling for that because probably 9 times out of 10, the gun was probably empty and he was manipulating me. I don't know. But you know what? I do understand to the degree that it had on, I'm still thinking about spirit flow. I'm loving it though. The degree of what that did to me. And so I would even control when somebody said they love me. So I would say, I love you. So somebody I didn't know, just for the desire of wanting to hear someone say they love me. Whether they meant it or not, I just wanted them to say it because I needed love. I wanted love. I needed love. And I wanted him to say it. And I wanted him to say it right now. So I love you. You know, they didn't get it back. Or they probably said like, oh, she crazy. And then I never saw him again. But that was a long time ago, you know. And so I've discovered this during a session that I had as a participant of the Inner Fitness Circle, which, you know, that's my love, that's my heart, that's my, you know, and that is a part of me that I haven't given up, but I have neglected for a long time, is staying consistent with that because that helped me with my healing. But I came to that revelation during a session with my my sisters in the Inner Fitness Circle, and it was, oh wow, this is why I do this. And but nobody said, but that's not okay, and that's robbing you of your freedom. I got the revelation, I got understanding of why I was doing this, but the piece that was missing for me in that moment was, and it might have been said, it just might have went over my head, is that this is robbing you of your freedom. So here I sat today, and anything that robs me of my freedom, anything that robs me of my value, anything that robs me of my peace, it can't be a part of my life. You know, because it can be, I can allow it to be, but I'm not because it can't rob me of my peace.
Mhm.
And so I have to start with me. So I
Mhm.
was robbing myself of my own peace and blaming somebody else for it because they was putting shit where I ain't wanted to put it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so while I acknowledged a few years ago why I picked up this habit of control, especially in my home space. You see it again? Oh,
Yes, I saw it again. Go ahead.
oh wow, wait. I didn't see that.
It stopped right here at your chest.
Wow. Wow.
Never
Interesting.
happened before. This has
Ever.
never happened before. What is happening?
Ever.
It stopped right here at your heart. Keep going.
Wow. Wow. Interesting. And I didn't catch, I kind of felt it, but I didn't see it. So that's why I acted it happen again.
You felt it?
I did. Because I was looking down at something and I felt it. And you didn't hear me say, did it happen again?
Yes.
Yeah. I felt it. Look, this is divinity. Like this is, I was in a space so sacred and so energized with spirit yesterday that it's like it's on and popping for me. Like I am so thankful. I told you I have so much to share with you. You
Mm-hmm.
know, but we always said we wouldn't, put religion, and this has nothing to do with religion. So I don't want anybody to think that, but this has something to do with spirit and me being honored in the spirit realm. Um, like the spirit realm is rejoicing, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
because of what is being revealed to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like real talk, I felt it. That's why I looked up and said, "Did it happen again?"
Girl.
Amazing. So I kind of lost.
Me too. I don't know what you was talking about.
I lost track. I know we talk about freedom. You know, um,
You had said something. You were saying something. Oh, you said you would never allow it to rob you of your freedom again. I think that's what you said.
that sounds about right. I will not. I refuse to because I am a human being that has seen a lot of turmoil, that has been confused about who I am, that have been
Just let it happen.
there it goes. Yeah,
Just let it happen.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
let it be.
That have
Yeah.
been lied to, have lied to myself based on the experiences that I had and some of the lies that I told myself, which I know now to be lies, was that you're not worthy, you're not wanted. So I am thankful for everything I went through,
Mm-hmm.
everything that was done to me, everything that wasn't done to me. I
Mm-hmm.
am thankful because it molded me and it brought me to here. Because had none of these things happened, maybe I would have just lived obliviously my
Mm-hmm.
whole life without meaning, without depth. However, because of the trauma, the
Mm-hmm.
hurts, the upsets, the disappointments, the bondage, it's brought me to a place where I seek better,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, I seek deeper, I seek greater within me because I am awesome, I am great, I am worthy,
Mm-hmm.
I am divine. And so, had none of these things happened, I might not be on the path that I'm on to this discovery of who I truly am. So forget
Or
about
who you always were.
who I always have been, who I
Yes.
was born to be.
Yes. Yeah. We don't
And
discover we don't discover something new. We discover what was already there.
already there.
It was the world and our experiences of just growing and living that it tainted that version of us. It
Of
hid that.
infinite self.
Yep, yep, yep. It put us in bondage, but we always come back.
Yeah, yeah. And so
Come
I'm
back.
thankful because now I am acknowledging who I am,
Mhm,
shedding the lies,
mhm,
and stepping into who I am at the
mhm.
core of my being.
Yep.
And I think, I believe that maybe had I not had the experiences, I would not have come to the place that I am right now.
Mhm,
So that I am extremely grateful for. And my infinite self has always been there, suppressed, hidden beneath my flesh, hidden beneath the hurt,
mhm.
hidden beneath the lies, and it is there. And this isn't an overnight process. This takes work, you
Yeah.
know, and to be fully aware of who you are and walk in that,
Mhm,
knowing I've always had value. Now, I never knew that 25, 30 years ago. When
mhm,
I was raped, I thought my only value was my virginity.
mhm,
That's a part of my value. That is a part of what made me who I am. That is something I had and was only meant to have for a time. I
mhm,
was not meant to remain a virgin forever. However, it was not supposed to be taken from me, but it was. And in
mhm,
that, because of that, I adopted the belief that I was worthless. And the reality of it is, I am worth more
mhm,
than any price,
mhm. Yeah.
even with the damage that was done as a result of me being raped and molested and
Mhm,
abused. Because see, that wasn't the only, thing.
mhm,
That wasn't the only trauma. Neglect,
mhm,
abuse, mentally and physically. It
mhm,
suppressed my divinity, my wholeness, my greatness,
mhm,
and to come to the realization that I am worth more than a tunnel full of diamonds and gold.
mhm,
It humbles me in such a way because it just does. And all the trauma that I experienced, I turned my own self into my biggest traumatizer through my mind and my
mhm,
behavior.
mhm,
And I am ready to change my behavior and my mind to suit who I truly am.
mhm,
I am not anxious. I am not depressed. I am not lacking. I am worthy.
mhm,
I am wonderful. I am wanted. I had a foster mother for 6 years. And it's still hard for me to not to call her my grandmother, but she was not my grandmother, nor did she treat me as a grandmother. For 6 years, told me how much I wasn't wanted. And the only reason why I was in her house because nobody wanted me.
mhm,
And that thing stuck with me. I
mhm,
am wanted. You know why? Because spirit is in me.
mhm, mhm,
I am here.
mhm.
Wait a minute. What was it? The show? Maury.
You said what?
What was it called? The Maury Povich show? When these girls would come on there and they would bring this whole string of guys, and they'd say, they did a lie detector, and Maury would say, he determined that was a lie. So I get to say that to my foster mother, Mary Genevieve Hebb. You told me I wasn't wanted. That was a lie.
That was a lie.
Jonathan Bricker Sr., you raped me and molested me, and you told me it was love. That was a lie.
Yeah.
For everyone who lied to me, I now know that you were lying.
Yes.
For trying to tell me who I was. So I don't speak their names. Sue me. It's the truth. Michelle Brown Caribbean, you are the one who caused my rape at 12 years old. You told me at my foster mother's funeral that you would never leave me and that you were my sister. You lied. You didn't treat me as a sister. You treated me as an enemy. So you're a liar.
Oh. This is what freedom looks like. Exposing the lies of the enemy.
And that is freedom.
That's freedom.
Because all those things that were trapped in my mind and those experiences that were trapped in my mind kept me abusing my own self. Behaving less than who I am. So a lot of y'all have seen me misbehaving. That was a lie. That's not who I am. So if you see me now and you try to bring up any of that shit that you might have seen me do, please don't.
You spreading lies. Don't bring up lies.
In love, I'm going to tell you, that was a lie.
Ooh, wow. Yeah. That's good. I like that. Anybody who try to bring up your old stuff.
Yeah.
That, not
was
saying
a lie.
Saying is a lie. But what you saw was a lie. You better come on, Primrose. You better come on. I felt that thing to my head to my toes. Oh my goodness.
You hear me?
I hear you. I'm listening.
Heard me.
I heard you. And I'm going to use that thing. That
is a lie.
Is a lie. The man you saw me with last week, 2 months ago, and you see me with a new one, that was a lie. That was a lie.
When I was operating less than who I was or who I am, let me correct that. Who I am. That was all a lie. And
wow.
My behavior will change. I will honor my infinite divine self in word and in deed. And that is a declaration. It's going to take work. So I'll be doing some things differently now.
Yeah.
And I speak that to the universe, to the ears and the heart. The hearts. I combined. Hey, I can do that if I want to. The ears and the heart. Or should I say the ears? The ears.
Yeah. The ears, yep.
That reach that is for my growth, for my development, for my success, may it fall to those hears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is freedom. This is freedom.
You know,
This is
so,
self-control.
yeah. Because that's the only control you have is self. Unless you give up your self-control
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to things, to people.
Mm-hmm.
And I refuse. I am too valuable. I am too intelligent
Mm-hmm.
to give it up. My value is too high to give it up. I'm so full right now
Yeah.
that it's almost hard to keep talking. It's almost hard
Yeah.
to keep talking. And so, outside of the definition of freedom and control, Miss Gracie, give me yours.
Freedom is a form of love because love is liberating. Love is not bondage. Love gives you the right and the permission to be yourself, to be who you are. It's freedom. It's freedom in love. And freedom is love, love is freedom. I think they both go hand in hand. And the fact that we're talking about freedom and we're expressing how free we are and how free we're going to be, I believe we are not like this is like a very high vibration right now because like even when I talk about things that I'm doing, like I pay attention to how I feel, all things that I'm going to do, right? And I will if I'm talking about them and if I feel very low, that's bondage. Where is that coming from? Where is that coming from? Why is the choices that I'm making, where the choices that I'm making now to do something now or to do something later, and I'm speaking on it, and it's bringing me low, where I need to find the root of that, right? I need to find where that came from. Why am I making certain decisions in that low vibration? And when I speak on things that are good and that promotes freedom, I feel good about it. I feel good talking about it. I feel like I want to talk about it more and I want to speak on it. And recently I was experiencing a bondage that I had no, I didn't know that that's what was going on until I had to be honest with myself. They say the truth will set you free. And I had to be really honest with myself at the certain decisions and choices that I was making. And I was like, where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? Why am I keep choosing the same thing over and over again, knowing the result? Knowing the result. Why am I? Why am I? And I had to do some research, I had to dig deeper and where the root was. But what I was choosing from was a space that I was no longer in. I'm literally witnessing. I'm gonna just be honest. So the choices in men came from my relationship with my father as a child. So I choose men who I think that I can heal, fix, help, which is a form of control. And it comes from a place of which is called a codependency relationship. So I like codependency relationships. And those relationships are formed with, and I did my research, are formed from if you experience an alcoholic or drug abuse parent. And my father was an alcoholic. And I can say that now because he no longer is one.
Amen.
So, yeah, so he struggled with alcoholism. And as a child, I tried to save him and heal him and help him and I used to throw away liquor bottles and run to I would leave the house. We would be in an apartment. He'll be drunk. He'll be in my mother's apartment watching me, and his apartment was down the street. And I remember sneaking out in the middle of the night while it was raining to go down there and to open his door and to throw the beer bottles away. Or I remember being in motel rooms with him because he didn't have a place to stay, but he never wanted to give up his rights of seeing me as a child. So he'd see me on weekends, but I remember being in hotel rooms and there was liquor everywhere. And I was just dumping them out. And I just said, the more I dump out, he won't drink no more. He won't do it. He won't do it. And it it went into my relationships with men and who I was choosing. And today, my father is no longer alcoholic, so I do not have to choose from that place anymore.
Absolutely not. You never had to.
I never had to,
From a
I see differently now. And I had to really open my eyes, like, heal that part of you, that experienced that, and tell her that you are no longer experiencing it anymore. Give her a new story. Tell her things has changed.
yeah,
Write a letter to that little girl. Things has gotten better. And I can respond and choose better from this place that I'm in.
right.
And it's kind of like we relive that. And so that's my testimony and my experience of control and freedom. And today I walk freely in my decision making better decisions of my partners and who I choose to spend time with intimately and romantically. Because that's where it's like I almost got sick of myself. Like, this is what you're choosing.
Yeah,
You
because
have options. Yes, you have options. I
you
would
operate on a level of your value. You were operating from a level of, first of all, you're a grown ass woman. You went back to childhood, and
Yeah,
so you were operating outside of your worth
yeah.
for
And
reasons like that you just stated, and
mhm.
those were your father's choices
Yeah,
for you to fix. It never was, never will be. The blessing is that your father came to a place of rationale at some point and said, you know what, I got to change, and he did that. And
huh?
so now you get to see the better version of your father.
Yep.
And we're offline, we'll talk about something that I saw a few weeks ago. I said little tidbits of it, but I kept parts of it to myself. But that's private. We'll talk about that later. But you were never meant to fix your father or save him or
Yep.
anything like that. And just that and I love your dad, but that
Mhm.
was a position that unfortunately you were just in because
Yep.
of who your father was.
Yep.
And I totally get it because the things that happened as a child, I'm telling you, when that woman told me all those years that I wasn't wanted, and it became true when because my parents were addicts. Father was
Mhm.
alcoholic. My mother was a dope fiend. So it wasn't that they didn't want me; they just had disease of addiction.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to be loved so bad that I dated, friended, way beyond beneath my value, my worth, my level of being out of
Mhm.
desperation.
Mhm.
And so to be in this place and that you understand and you see this is where you got this idea that you can say you can't save nobody.
Yep. I
You
had to
can't,
take the I
look,
gotta
can't even save ourselves.
take the cape off.
Yeah.
Gotta take it off.
Because
And
you were running a losing race,
uh-huh. Uh-huh.
trying to save somebody else. Because
Yep.
at the end of the day, the only person who really can save you, and I'm talking from a mental standpoint,
Yeah.
is yourself.
Yeah.
And I am so grateful that you have that and you know that because you no longer have a need to operate outside of your value.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
We're
yeah.
settling for, for this one
Mm.
or that one because of your confusion.
Yes. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And there had to be a confusion for a child to have to be the savior of their parent. Aren't they supposed to be our heroes?
Yeah.
So that I'm sure caused confusion within you. So the beauty in all this is that you get to see the other side.
Yeah.
You have a father who's no longer an alcoholic,
Yeah.
who comes home with groceries happily for his family, that you're not having to run down and chase and empty out liquor bottles. At least you get to see, because see, I never got to see the other side of my father. He passed away and shit, 97, 98, something like that. He passed away. So I didn't get to see that. I really didn't get to see it before because he was an absentee dad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the beauty in it. And the fact that your father shows you so much more than he's ever shown you. He gets to show up as the better version of himself, the best version of yourself. I am thankful for you for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even had he never gotten to that point, which is null and void because he did, it still would have been up to you at some point to recognize, realize, and say, you know what? I'm choosing my dad for real. I'm
Yeah.
trying to save my dad. He's saved already. You ain't got to do that no more. You never did.
Wow. Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
I am thankful for that for you.
And I'm still it's a like it's a everyday it's a work in progress to choose better um in understanding my worth and understanding that I am worthy of a healthy relationship. I am worthy of love. I am worthy to be loved properly and correctly. So it's I have to tell myself daily because those doubts and those fears and what I had to realize I'm also becoming free of addiction to toxicity
Mhm.
in relationships because it is addicting when you have experienced it, huh?
It's a bondage
Yeah,
because
it's a
it's
bondage. When you have
busy.
yeah, when you have
My
yeah,
apologies.
yeah. No. When you have experiencing it for so long, these toxic relationships and I just, it becomes like an addiction and when a healthy relationship is calm and loving and peaceful, you start to think like something's wrong. This
Mm.
don't even feel right. I'm not used to this. And you start to look for trouble, because I'm anxious I was anxious in those previous relationships, always working towards something, always healing. Oh, we're going to get through this. We're going to it's just crazy. But like I said, it can be addicting for some. And, because if it does releases a toxic relationship releases chemicals in your brain. What is it? Dopamine?
The,
I,
don't get me the line about science, but I think
I
that's
really,
the stuff that release that's the good stuff, right? That's the feelings of good.
yeah. So I think it releases a form like because you're addicted to it, you think it's good.
So
You
it's like,
think it's good.
okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
get that because
If I have to look it up, but I know it releases something, and you start to crave for it. You start to, that's why people leave people and then they go back, and they break up again and they go back, and they break up again and they go back. Like it's just a toxic cycle, and you find yourself in this. Well, I find myself in this cycle, in this toxic cycle but I'm breaking it, and I'm becoming free of it, and I'm very thankful. And it started with just really sitting down and being honest with myself because the truth will set you free. Being honest with myself, being real with myself, being transparent with myself first, and becoming aware of it and speaking freedom over that thing and releasing control, wanting to be control of another person because you
yeah,
can't control them,
because you
can't
can't.
heal them. I took the cape off. I can only control me and what's around me, with me. I can only control me and my decisions, and I decide to make better decisions.
And that's really what it's all about in life. So it's really boils down to choices with
Yep.
just about anything. And see, I could have chosen to say, you know what? I know I'm fucked up and I'm gonna just stay this way. I'm gonna just live my life. I'm gonna just do this little thing called life and I'm gonna be here till I'm gone. And that's it. But that's not my choice. My choice is to have a life well lived.
Yeah.
When I wake up in the morning, you know, somebody said yesterday, just smile. And the funny thing is, that's something I do. That even if I don't say anything when I wake up, I smile, and that's become a habit over some months now. You know, it hasn't always been that way. I can't even remember how long I've been doing this. But when I wake up, as soon as I wake up, I just
That is so cute.
because guess what? I'm alive. I'm woke. You
Mhm.
know, and now I've added prayer to that smile. So after I smile, I pray, you know, and it's like, it's so freeing for me to know that all those years, my experiences, I thought was who I was. My freedom comes from knowing that's what I went through, that's
Mhm.
been my experience, but that's not who I am. The
Yeah.
things that have happened to me does not define who I am, never have. I just believed lies for most of my life. And
Mm.
so I am thankful for the knowledge of who I am, who I've always been, and who you will see. I am extremely grateful. And I'm just grateful. Like I cannot, words don't quite serve what I believe.
Yeah.
And I will continue to work, to shed, to grow, to be more bold in who I am, to behave at my level of value,
Yeah.
um, to pour out love, because I got to give this thing back. I got to give it back. You know, it wasn't just, it's not for me. You know, self-love first, yes, because if I can't love me, I can't love you. But I will impart love, wisdom, and gratitude.
Mhm.
And that's how I show my gratitude, you know. And, you know, I'm just thankful. Like
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting that, like at a loss for words because I can't really explain it
Mhm.
outside of it. And I want so much for people to get it when they hear it. But I trust and know that you will.
Yeah.
You will get it. You will, there will be something that stirs in the individual who hears the testimony. And it will benefit them. And then in turn, they will come to some realizations and they will accept their freedom and who they are. And then they will pour into someone. So if this is perpetual, it's not meant to, again, I got to heal me and save me first. I'm the only person who can save me.
Mhm.
I got to do me first.
You said I want a PhD in saving me, or
Absolutely. Look, I'm getting to that. And then I'm going
yeah.
to work on my master's.
Oh, you got your PhD first? Oh, okay. You
Yeah,
wait, how?
I'm not a doctor, so if whatever order that go, I think the master's is after
You
the.
look, yeah, you already got them. You had the PhD there. You graduated for them. Yeah, you about to
I'm going
graduate.
up a level.
Yep.
Up a level in my love. I'm going up a level in my freedom. I'm going up a level in my productivity. I'm going
Yeah.
up a level in my success.
Yeah.
Going up a level in my wisdom. I'm going up a level in my kindness. I'm going up a level in my joy. I'm going up a level in my peace. Learning how to share, not being selfish. And that is why I get to sit here. and I'll get to walk into certain rooms and be on certain panels and be in the company of certain people because the frequency is high.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the only way that I can increase my frequency is be around what? Higher frequency. So I can't be high frequency because low frequencies will drain me.
Yes,
Some
yes.
of y'all
Yep.
can't be around no more. I just can't.
Yep.
You won't have that type of access. But I am
Yep.
help. I am here, like I said, to give encouragement. Don't call me for a pity party. Call me because I am a resource. But I'm not your source. You are your own source. I'm a resource, and I can get you connected to other people because I'm connecting with people. Like it's been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The people that I have started to connect with over these last few months. So this is not for nothing. This is our way of giving back. This is our way of healing. This is our way of helping. This is our way of growing. And we're going to do just that.
Yeah.
And I trust and believe those who listen will also, yeah. The benefit is real. And before we wrap up our final episode of our first season, let's just give ourselves a freaking round of applause for showing up. Did I say applause?
We know what you meant.
Yeah, y'all know. Look what he said. Y'all know what I meant. Applause for getting to this is a milestone for us.
Yeah.
A lot to be celebrated because this is a labor of love. Yeah. This is not easy. This challenges us. It causes us to come face to face with who we are because I want to understand me better.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I vibe higher. Mm-hmm. So it has been an honor to work with you this season.
Yes, yes.
We got work to do on ourselves first, and then we get to come back and share with others. Yeah. And we can talk about our journey, document things in your journey so that when we come back, because people, a lot of people listen to us, they're not going to see us, they're not going to know us. But document, because I'm going to be documenting things that I'm doing, and because I have to document because again, everything don't stay here all the time. Mm-hmm. And I want to be able to share, hey, this is what worked for me along the journey, because that's the wisdom part, experience. And then you get to share that to help. And that's why we're here. That's how we show gratitude, by giving back, by actually going out and having the experience so that we have something meaningful to share to those who need it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Was that a yawn? Look, I'm usually the one that's yawning, y'all.
Trying to cover that up. Trying to cover that up.
Yep.
Yep, it is. Sorry, y'all. Excuse me.
Again, man, and we could go on and on, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna wrap this thing up. So Miss Gracie, tell her where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at _Michelle Gracie. That's MICHELLEGRACIE. You can find me on Facebook, Michelle Richardson. That's Michelle MICHELLERICHARDSON. You can find me on all platforms: Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, iBooks, and Google Play.
Awesome. Look at this woman on the move. Published author, y'all, doing a thing. And I'm your girl, Primrose, here on Primrose Ave. You can find me on all socials at PRIMROZEAVE. We're going to abbreviate the avenue because you know how we do in Baltimore. We be abbreviating. So that's where you can find me. You can find us on our YouTube channel, the podcast Primrose Avenue, PRIMROZEAVE, y'all. Tune in. Go back and listen to episodes that you haven't listened to. Follow us on our socials. Let us know what you're doing. We want to know because it could help us. Yeah. I'm not sitting in the seat because I know everything. I'm sitting here because I'm on a journey.
Yeah.
So, hit us up, love on us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Invite us to your town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what we at. We out here
Yeah.
in the streets, y'all. All loved on and loved up, charged up, ready to dispense.
Yes. 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 Yes.
you know. So we appreciate you guys for listening in on this episode, listening in this season. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, share, support us. Michelle is a published author. Like I said, you can find her books on Barnes and Noble, Amazon. Hold on, Barnes and Noble, Amazon, and what else, Michelle?
iBooks and Google Play and Kindle.
And Kindle. And you can order directly from her website, which is sweetvictoryproductions.com. Am I
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
Perfect. And go on to my website, Primroze Avenue, to find my online store where my affirmation wear is sold. And I'm not feeling ashamed because I didn't wear it. And I came in from work and I didn't have that on. So, but I
They're
have
dope too. They're super cute.
yeah, I have affirmation teas. Support it, y'all. And what happens is, when you support me, in purchasing these teas, number one, you support my favorite charity, which is charity, not charity.
Super funny.
My favorite charity, Learning to Live, and Learning to Live movement, and you help us elevate so that we can move and travel comfortably when we are guest speakers and stuff like that. And with Michelle, with the purchase of her book, put her on the list, y'all. Why she can be a New York Times bestseller. Put her on
Yes.
the list. A young Black author, faith-based book, it is a good read. I'm not just saying that because you're my sister friend and you're my co-host. I'm saying it because it is. It's a good read.
Yeah.
Becoming a great man.
Yeah.
Support it. We got to support each other. This is how we all grow. I'm not in it just to win for myself. I
Yeah.
wanted to see others win. If it was just about me winning, I wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
Period. So I want to see you win, and the willing will win. That's all I can say. And so,
Mm.
we're going to let y'all go. It's been real. We love you. We love each other. We love ourselves. And
Yeah.
we will see y'all next season. Follow us on our socials so that you'll know when season 2, episode 1 will be dropped.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Beyond. And we out.
We out.